When I was a kid, we didn't have a lot of money. So we went to the library a lot because it was free. And I can remember coming home with my arms just full of the maximum amount of books that they would allow me to take home. And I always loved reading fairy tales and just being able to visit in my mind any number of fantastical worlds. And then as I got older, I discovered science fiction, which had its own fantastical worlds to visit. And my mind was constantly blown by what I could find in a book. And as reading inspired me to write my own stories, I thought it could be fun to share with you some of my favorite authors. So here is the first of a series that I will be doing on some of my favorite authors. First, I really want to mention Ray Bradbury. And this book just might be one of his least popular books. Most people know Fahrenheit 451. Most people know the Martian Chronicles. Many people know Something Wicked This Way Comes, all of which are great books as well. I have read them and they're wonderful. This is his least science fiction-y, and yet it was the first of his books that I read, and it captured my imagination. Dandelion Wine is loosely based on his childhood growing up in the Midwest in the 1920s. And it is a story that follows one main character, a young boy, through his summer vacation. But it also spends time with his family, and it spends time with other people in his town. And it is absolutely not the kind of book that I normally would read. If someone said that to me, I would say it sounds boring, but it's not. Ray Bradbury had such a talent with words. He is so good at painting pictures, at taking the ordinary and making it extraordinary. And I think he does that nowhere better than in Dandelion Wine. As I said, don't get me wrong, I love other books of his as well, and I would really recommend anything that Ray Bradbury has written. However, if you're not big into science fiction, but you'd be curious to check him out, then I highly recommend Dandelion Wine. And if you are interested in the science fiction books that he has written, I do highly recommend Fahrenheit 451 and the Martian Chronicles. With Ray Bradbury, I would say even some of the things he wrote, like Something Wicked This Way Comes, falls probably closer to fantasy than it does to science fiction. In fact, books like that, I would say almost has an Edgar Allan Poe kind of feel to it, which another great author, of course. Here's a man who covered quite a few genre types. I highly recommend anything by Ray Bradbury. The man was a master. Check him out. I hope you enjoy, and if you liked this video, please like it. You can subscribe to stay up to date with the latest info on my coming book in January 2026. And please remember to share this video with anyone you think might be interested. Till next time.